Hey guys, welcome to this week with Bob and Chris. It's been a crazy week, and if you've seen the news, or unless you've been under a rock, there's yet another Microsoft threat that's out there. This one's a little different. It's considered a zero day. We don't know a whole lot about it yet. Um, I know Chris has been doing some work looking and researching what's going on and things that can happen, but right now. It's called Frowena. Is that it, Chris?
Felina, yeah,
Frowena?
yeah. We don't
So,
we don't understand why people name these things. Just pick weird names and call vulnerabilities up.
and it's not like the hurricanes where we actually come up with a year's worth of names to go through the alphabet. Frowena doesn't mean we're up to F. This is God knows how many. Maybe it was
We
F. Maybe it was F for that day for the person
well,
doing the research. But
it's true. We averaged 50 vulnerabilities a day last year. I don't know where we're at this year, but I know last year was 50 a day.
50.
Yep, 50
Oh wow.
every single day. They found 50 vulnerabilities at least. So that was the average.
So, guys, if you're watching this
Yeah,
and you haven't heard about it, about this new attack, drop something in the chat, and we'll reach out and I've got some stuff that we can send over so you can see it, see what's happening. But so you said 50 vulnerabilities a day, and this is
yep.
this is just a new one.
Well, this one's particularly bad though because it doesn't require a user to actually do anything other than just view. There we go. We got our guest,
Yeah, I just
special
muted her.
guest. Um, this one's special because it doesn't require a user to really do anything. They just can view or preview a document and you can be hit. So the whole idea behind it is there's something called a Microsoft diagnostic tool that runs in the background. Well, Office applications are allowed to just download code through HTML. So they can make a URL, they can download a payload, install programs, view, change, delete data, or just create email or create local accounts based on the context of the user. So if you're a user running as an administrator, guess what? Somebody could create additional administrator accounts. And it's a no click execution. If you just preview a specially crafted email message in Outlook, it can execute. If you have a Word or a rich text document in your Windows Explorer and you're just browsing to it and it preview windows it can execute. So this is why this is particularly bad because it's not a user opening it up, running a macro like we've seen. This is just literally just previewing it.
So we have definitely told people and trained people not to click enable macros and things like that. But you're saying
Yep.
right now, what we're seeing is just previewing it
Yeah,
and is enough to infect the machine.
yeah, and we're already seeing APTs, advanced persistent threat actors out there using this already. Because the POC was released over the weekend, proof of concept, and it's already being hit. So they're already starting to use it in attacks against people. So for our customers, we put a mitigation in. There's a mitigation that Microsoft has that if you can deploy it, it'll kill the ability for the Microsoft diagnostic tool to be launched from inside of Office applications. It's a mitigation for right now until they patch it, and then we'll probably look at the mitigation, see if it's still a problem, and then we'll have to do it. But we were doing some internal research, and we can replicate this really easy. This is super easy to do. So
And
it's
and
not
that's
even it's not even hard
and
for
the yeah
attacker to do.
and the fact that it's out in the wild. And I
Yep.
was just on a call before this where someone told me that some of the simple hack tools, Metasploit, has already been one of the tools we use for testing already has a module release to actually exploit it. So
Oh yeah.
now it's just a matter of going into the tool and saying click it and run it. So there's
Yep.
not a whole lot of coding needed for people to deploy this.
Yeah, and they can download anything they want. They can execute anything they want inside the user context. So, like I said, creating user accounts is one thing, deleting data is one thing. Ransomware is a risk. Keystroke loggers is a risk. Where remote access Trojans are a risk. Literally anything. So it's getting worse. The more this comes out, the worse it gets. Luckily, like I said, there are some mitigation techniques you can use. If you talk to your IT provider or talk to us, we can help you with that. But just be aware that it's no longer, this is not a click vulnerability. This is a straight up preview. Now, we haven't seen anything in our customer base, but again, we jumped in this on Tuesday to put those mitigations in as soon as they were released. And we have some advanced rules too, and advanced detection rules that we're running right now in our customers to kind of mitigate this. Some antivirus companies are pushing stuff out. I haven't seen all of them yet, so that's something else to consider. So, unfortunately, this is where we're at.
So what's the short term? What should people be doing besides turning off preview pane on Outlook?
So turn off preview pane. Make sure your antivirus is up to date. Obviously, I would put the mitigation in, but the mitigation requires you to edit your registry, which is highly dangerous. So for educational purposes only, you should do it. For entertainment purposes only, you should do it. Have a professional work with you, because if you edit the registry wrong and you screw it up, you could wreck your computer. We always got to preface that. But you should put the mitigation technique in until they patch it. There's no other way to stop it other than relying on like security tools.
Yep.
Which we've seen security tools fail, which they do every day. So as this goes forward, it may be something where they can leverage it, but they can bypass like your security tools. So, the mitigation's the best part until they patch it.
So right now, just disable the Microsoft tools altogether.
Cool. Yeah, disable the Microsoft diagnostic tool. So yeah, that's what we did. We did that for all of our customers, but we can do it in like, I don't know, it took us like writing the script and dropping it took, I don't know, 20 minutes. So.
Well, that's because you had the tools, and that's the thing. You had access. You've got remote access for managing these machines. Yep. But in that same note, if the bad guys had access to a computer, it's going to take them just as long get access, and they can do similar things in a very speedy time frame. Right. So I've looked at some of their tools,
and the worst part about this is you don't see anything. The user doesn't see anything. It just runs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no pop-ups, there's nothing. It just runs for the user. And, Bob, you and I talked about this before about running as administrator. You run as administrator, you just expose your entire computer to having an additional administrator accounts created. If people have done, like, let's say your IT person for your company is logged in with your domain administrator account on that computer, there could be a hash there where they can just pull it. And now your entire network is owned by one person previewing email.
It's funny you say that. It just I just thought of a story, because back when I was in college, there was an online system that we were working with, and yes, it was 1983. I managed to send an email to somebody that did just that. He received the email. It pushed it stuffed commands into his machine, and he sat there and watched me getting added as a privileged user. It just showed up, and there was nothing he could do about it. And it's the same exact thing. So it's just receiving that email and going.
Yeah. Downloads it, leverages the vulnerability, executes it, and you're done. So it's not to scare people. I mean, this is still something where you have to get the email. It has to be previewed, things like that. But I mean, the fact that it's really easy to do and it's already being exploited in the wild means it's going to be something that's coming if you haven't seen it already.
Chris, it's more than a preview from what I understand. Is like, so someone's using Gmail now and they don't use the preview pane, but if they take that attachment and open it, the act of opening it in Word is going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing that protects you is if it's downloaded from the internet, the yellow bar where it actually says you've downloaded this from the internet, do you want to enable, or do you want to being able to edit it? Like once you click that, that's when it executes. Okay. I believe it could be before that, but yeah, but previewing in Explorer does it. Previewing it in Outlook does it. There are ways to disable the preview function, but still, best case scenario right now, if you receive like an Office document or an email with an attachment, opening it in the online version or previewing it in the online version of Outlook, if you're using Microsoft 365, would be the best way to do it, because it can't execute in the browser. It can only execute in physical Outlook. So if you're really scared, you could temporarily if you see an email come in, you could just execute it in your browser instead.
And if you're not expecting anything, ask the
Definitely
person
don't.
if they actually sent it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Open it in your browser and then ask them because be like, "Yo, did you actually send this to me?" Oh, side note, we didn't talk about this. If you have Zoom and you leverage Zoom and you have not updated Zoom past like 5.10, go update your Zoom. There's a nasty vulnerability that came out 2 days ago with Zoom where somebody can send you a crafted chat message and execute things in your computer as well. So
I think that's a topic for another call.
it might be, but yeah,
I
that's something
think
else
that's
that
a
just came
topic
out
for
this
another
week.
call. So, guys,
Yeah,
if you see strange things happening on your computer, you can reach out to your IT team, reach out to
yeah,
Chris or I online, um, and comment in the chat below because the more people we help, the better. If you've got something you'd like us to talk about in the future, drop it in the chat. If you've got an immediate need or question, reach out to Chris.
yeah.
Or myself, just click on where you're watching this video, and if you and lastly, if you think your business is at risk or you don't know, go to the link below, and and run a risk assessment on yourself. Takes like 2 minutes to fill out the form,
Yeah.
and you'll get some instant results, and then we sit down and talk about it. What else you got today, Chris?
I'd like to hear some stories. I talked to somebody last week that told me stories about some of his clients that got hit with ransomware and things like that. And I'd love for somebody to just, you don't have to come on here with us. Just engage with us, talk to us, tell us the story. We'll talk, we'll tell the story. We'd like to know lessons learned, things like that in your industry and kind of share that knowledge. So
Absolutely.
that's all I got for this week.
That's all I got.
Cool.
We'll just keep watching what's going on and watching for alerts and trying to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.